We're live. Chase, Colorado preview show. Before we talk about the Buffaloes versus the Cougars tonight, late game. If you're on Eastern time, brutal time for BYU fans. It's always a brutal time. You're always dealing with 9 p.m., 10 p.m. tip-offs. But an 11 p.m. tip-off on a Tuesday night, that's brutal if you're on the East Coast. So shout out to you guys if you're watching.
Shout out to you guys. Look, I'll give you permission. If you're on the East Coast right now, you don't have to watch this one. All right? It's okay. You don't have to watch it.
Watch the replay. Watch the replay tomorrow morning. You know, you say you're going to work. Don't pretend. Just turn on the replay. Watch the replay. I don't think you need to stay up till 1:30. Just watch the highlights, man. It'll be all right if you're on the East Coast. West Coast, no excuses. You got to watch this game, and we'll be watching, and we'll be doing a live reaction right after, as always. But, Chase, there is a somber mood around BYU basketball right now. We've talked about it over and over again, how important this stretch was for BYU. They're now 1-2 in this 4-game stretch. They lose in a tight one in overtime. We recorded that podcast right after the Utah game. Apparently, we're given Utah bulletin board material, and we're the reason why BYU lost. And now BYU loses by 1 at the Huntsman Center. There's a lot of gloom and doom around BYU hoops right now.
Yeah, I mean, when you lose 4 of the last 5, and that one you won was against one of, if not the worst team in the conference, not much to be excited about or hang your hat on or, get up and want to just be excited to go to games right now. Look, I mean, they're at this point in the season where you can roll over and die, and, losing tonight would certainly be an indication of that. Or you got to hunker down and figure it out. And tonight against Colorado, late night, there in Boulder, I don't expect it to be packed. I mean, Colorado's 0-6 in conference. It's obviously a must-win. I don't think we need to say that, but it's more than that. We need to get everything right. We need to clear our heads. We need to figure out who we are and what we're doing here kind of game for the Cougars.
Yeah, and I think the other part about this game is I'm not necessarily looking at these games at the moment until they start stringing some wins together, and then you can start looking at tournament resume and stuff like that. You honestly can't even focus on that right now. You got to focus right now on this game and just, like you said, cleaning stuff up and, just building up confidence, man. You'd think after the Oklahoma State game, things were a little better, but this is another great chance at a confidence booster. But on the road at Colorado, you're favored by 4.5 in this game. BYU's been favored in all their Big 12 games except for the Houston game so far. So take that for what you want. And, I mean, look, obviously must-wins there and can't lose. You can say those words or whatnot. It's more so about just, can they put together a complete game where it's never really in doubt? Kind of like the Arizona game where it's never really in doubt, or Arizona State, sorry about that, where it's never really in doubt. They get a lead. They hold on to that lead. There's no questions from the free throw line. They're running a smooth offense and everybody's in rhythm and it's flowing a little bit. That's kind of more what I'm looking for tonight. Quad 2, quad 1. We'll figure that stuff out in a couple weeks. It's just put together some wins and put together a good product on the court, to be honest.
Yeah, something that we can, I don't know what I'll say, like be proud of, but we can enjoy watching and be like, this looks like some real basketball and college hoops, Big 12 stuff. This is the best opportunity to get a road win all season, which they haven't been able to do, and there's something about their performance on the road. This is it. This is the easiest one. You're playing right now the worst team in the Big 12, and they're not going to be a particularly passionate fan base there backing up the Buffs at 9 p.m. in Boulder, and probably a freezing cold, snowy Boulder. I don't know the exact weather. So look, get it done. I mean, you have to figure out a way to rally behind each other. And after coming off of a really tough loss, obviously they're in OT by 1 point to your arch rival, game that you feel like, you let slip. And I mean, it's a big mental spot for BYU for so many reasons, reasons. But that being said, there is not a better place to get right than Boulder, Colorado tonight. It's there for you. If they win, which they should, we're not going to be all of a sudden super high on this team and be like, they're so back, but we will just start to see some building blocks and hopefully some things that can lead into this little home stretch they have, being able to come back and perform better. But it all starts obviously tonight. I mean, I know they already flew out. I think they flew out yesterday, and you got to get it done. I mean, like you said, Carter, just need to see a complete basketball team play basketball, look like you care, and get it done.
Yeah, you almost have to rebuild the foundation of this team right now, where it just hasn't been working. Whatever it is, I'm not sure what. To be honest, I feel like 90% of what's been BYU's issue so far this season is purely mental or confidence. I feel like that would solve 3 of these games, whether it's from the free throw line or end of game situations. It's definitely not talent. I don't even know how much of it's coaching. I really think it's just confidence has been shot early on, especially like that Providence game and Ole Miss game. Like, obviously you can always play the if, what, coulda, shoulda, woulda, but I really wonder how different these guys feel at the end of games if, they make that last shot against Ole Miss and take care of Ole Miss and San Diego. Do they have the confidence going forward in these closer games? Because lately, obviously, they don't, and it just feels like a confidence issue with this team at this point.
Yeah, and here's the problem with BYU basketball, Carter. And anyone listening to this, if you are watching BYU tonight and they're heading into the under 4 timeout with a 2-point lead, how are you feeling? You are nervous as heck because BYU hasn't done this. They haven't won a close game. They especially haven't won a close game on the road. And you're like, here we go again. And I guarantee the players might feel a little bit of that same feeling.
Oh, they're going to feel that pressure. They might not say it in pressers and whatnot, but they're feeling that pressure. They should. I mean, that's natural. That's human nature.
And it's almost like, here we go again. We got a close game here. We're on the road. We're playing. We're favored. Can we win? Can we pull this out? There's not a lot of confidence amongst the fans. I don't know if there's, like we said, confidence amongst the players. They're obviously going to put on a show of confidence, and you should be confident in yourself. But I wouldn't be confident if it was a 2-point game in 3 minutes. I'd feel
nervous
like
because
it's
the
deja
other team,
vu.
Yeah, and the other team's playing with house money. 0-6 in conference. Colorado, they already basically won their Super Bowl this season by beating UConn and Maui. And so far, I mean, their season's kind of in the dumpster at the moment. So at this point, they're just trying to play upset alert. I mean, they're just sitting there wanting to ruin resumes at this point. So this can be not a resume killer. This would just be just a real killer to the confidence in fans. Yep. But it could turn if tonight we see a really impressive performance and they're putting it on and there's a lot of ball movement and they're playing intense defense and they're knocking down their daggum free throws. You put up a double-digit win tonight, you're going to gain some confidence back. All of a sudden, no, not everything's right in the world because you beat an 0-6 Colorado team. But you put that together, then you're giving the fans something. You're giving yourself something, the players, the coaches. Okay, we can do this on the road. Here we go. This is what the Oklahoma State game was supposed to be. And then you have a great opportunity at home on Saturday in front of your own fans. Saturday games at the Marriott Center are unbelievable. And you have a chance to knock off a Cincinnati team who's also fighting for around the same spots as you are. So it's going to be a great chance on Saturday, but it's got to get done tonight. And, man, if it doesn't get done tonight, it could get real ugly.
Dig the grave. I mean, we're already kind of at that point, but that could get real ugly. The problem is, and if you're a BYU fan, you're looking at Colorado's schedule so far, and look, they're 0-6, but only lost by 8 to a really good West Virginia team. They lost by 1 at UCF. They took Cincinnati to the wire. They
lost by 10 to Oklahoma State, though.
Yeah, I mean, that makes me feel pretty good. But, they have been known to compete. And like you said, they beat UConn earlier this year. Again, it's a down year for UConn, but certainly a tournament team, right? So there's not a lot of okay, you can sleep well if you are on the East Coast, knowing that your Cougars are going to take care of it. That's the situation this team has put us in. They're making the East Coasters either stay up or have a fitful sleep because they don't know if it's going to get done. And we talked about, in the past few games, we're like, it wouldn't be bad if BYU had a close game. Like, we need to see them kind of tonight. They need to blow it out. They need to absolutely get ahead quick, hold on to that lead. We want to see Townsend triple. We want to see Max triplet tonight. That is what the Cougars, they desperately need, Carter. They just need a get right. Everything's going in, everything's going right kind of game.
Let's talk about how they can do that right after this break. Chase, let's talk about the Colorado game tonight. What needs to be done? We've talked about it a little bit so far, how BYU needs to get out to a lead and they need to control this lead and, put together just a complete performance and really be dominant in this one when you're going against an inferior opponent, to be honest. Chase, I'll be honest, I think the key for me in this one and what I want to see, we talked about it time and time again, and we're going to, is I want to see Yegor Demon tonight really control the tempo of this game and really be comfortable and pick his spots really well and not force stuff, because sometimes I think he's not letting the game come to him. He's been forcing stuff and being aggressive when he feels like he should be. I just feel like his game's a little rushed, or the confidence is a little shot during Big 12 play maybe, because I just want to see him take control of tonight, get the team, get the tempo, control the game, and just calm things down. I think that's the key tonight as well, among some other things we'll get into.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree with you more, Carter. This does feel like a big Yegor game because, like we talked about a few months ago, he was the buzz of the NBA draft, or at least the upcoming draft, right? And people were all over him, and he was playing inferior opponents, making them look silly. I think he actually has an opportunity to do that tonight. No offense to Colorado, it's still a tougher opponent than the Florida A&M.
The other thing is, Colorado can definitely beat this BYU team. Let's not, BYU 1,000% can lose this game. BYU can lose to anybody on any given day. Colorado's shown they can beat UConn, like you said. BYU can lose this game, but you're right. This should be a game for Yegor.
It should be. What I need to see tonight is, from the rest of the team, and Yegor as well, is just intense defense. I need them to be like all over the ball. I need them to have energy. I need them tipping everything and getting steals, getting fast break buckets, and controlling the tempo, like you said. I need them to set the tone. And it's going to require some mental toughness and bringing energy to a team that's, down. Lost 4 of the last 5. You're traveling to very cold Colorado. You're not playing in front of a lot of people. Can you bring just this energy and intensity? I have a feeling, Carter, that they actually do. I think they see this as an opportunity to get a win, to get right. I think they're hungry for one. I think they respond well to Coach Young and the rest of the staff. And I think they bring that intensity. And so I'm looking for BYU to have a big defensive game, to just be all over the ball, to be getting those rotations down crisply, and lots of steals, lots of fast break points.
I think another key in this game is going to be, we talked about in the Utah game, and they didn't necessarily take advantage of it, is getting to the paint. Drive. Colorado, teams can get to the paint on Colorado. Their perimeter defense, if you can get downhill in Colorado, there's going to be a lot of driving kicks. And I think guys like Trevin Nell, Dawson Baker, one of these guys needs to step up in a big way tonight and hit a few threes tonight. Hit 3-4 threes, and that can really alter this game as well. I want to see Dallin be aggressive, get into the basket. We've said that the last 3 episodes, I think. When he's able to penetrate and get to the basket, that is when he's at his most dangerous. During the Utah game even, he was driving, and then those dump-offs to Foose and Cable were phenomenal. He was making great decisions in those spots when the defense would collapse on him when he was driving. So I think that's another key in this game that can be exploited from Colorado. But you're right. It all starts on the defensive end for this team tonight, because when the shots aren't falling, the free throws aren't falling, things are just not going your way. The number one thing you can always do, Chase, is play intense defense, and you can flip that momentum around.
Yeah, exactly. It's the thing you can control the most is your energy, is your effort, and that's where that comes out on the defensive end. And that's what BYU's been lacking. We said it, about the Utah game. I think Utah just wanted it more. I need to see BYU want this more. And don't underestimate the Buffs, right? They're hungry for a win. They've lost all 6 of their conference games. They're going to want to get this one. They see this as an opportunity to get right? They get to play at home. They get to play a struggling BYU team, and they're going to come out with some fire. So BYU's got to match that. In fact, they got to trump that with theirs.
Oh, topical reference there.
Yeah.
BYU Colorado. I'm excited for this one tonight. ESPN Plus late tip. Wait, is it ESPN Plus still?
I actually think that it got picked. It's on ESPNU. Yeah.
Yeah, I was about to say. I think it was
Nothing
on.
Else is showing at 9 p.m.
Yeah, I was about to say. It's like that's why you get that TV spot. You get the 11 p.m. Eastern TV slot. So let's do some predictions. And who do you think, instead of doing who do you want to shine in this game, because we kind of already talked about that, who's going to be the MVP tonight?
MVP tonight for me, it might be a cop out because I think he's been it a bit, but it's going to be Richie Saunders because he's going to be leading the energy, the intensity, especially on defense. I like him to have a few steals, bunch of rebounds, and then I'm hoping, I really do think BYU does a lot of off-ball stuff tonight, and he's going to be the catalyst of that, getting good big rebounds, tip backs, everything. I think Richie Saunders is the Energizer Bunny on this team. BYU needs some energy, and Richie Saunders brings that.
Yeah, and hopefully we can see more off-ball movement using Richie in these backdoor cuts more, because guy is an elite cutter in college basketball, and that's when I think he's at his best, when he's moving off ball, being able to catch and shoot, get to the basket from passes, which I think Yegor can hit him on those backdoor cuts with his vision and everything. So I like that answer. I'm going to go Dallin Hall tonight. I kind of alluded to it a little bit, but I think he's going to be aggressive. I think he needs to be, and he will be aggressive tonight, getting other guys involved and getting his own a little bit, getting to the free throw line. I want to see him draw some fouls tonight, driving, putting the defense on their toes, because if he can penetrate and get to the basket tonight, it's going to open up everything else for guys like Trevin, Dawson, Richie, and even Yegor, and even guys like Kaba as well. So I think Dallin's going to be my MVP tonight. Let's do score prediction. We'll get out of here. Quick pod today.
Yep. I'm going to go with BYU wins. I think they win like somewhat handily, not exactly a blowout. I'm going to go BYU 76. Colorado 61. So kind of in between there. So you don't quite get the starters out, but it's a comfortable win for the Cougs.
I'll go BYU 77, Colorado 69. I still think BYU wins this one, but I think BYU wins this one, and hopefully we see a dominant performance. I'm hoping for your score, Chase, because this team, man, they need a dominant performance. Look, Oklahoma State was a good win and getting a double-digit win and whatnot, but they let them back into that game. That game was in question for a minute. This Colorado game, it needs to be known that this game is never in question tonight. Get that done on the road. Huge confidence builder. And then if you win Saturday, then we can start talking about the bubble. But for now, it's game by game. Just get some confidence back.
Yeah, we're not even going to be like, oh, what if they focus on tonight and then we'll be potting later, and maybe we could start to see how this team looked and look towards the future.
I'm curious to see our reactions after this game. Like, maybe see if we end up overreacting or not. Like, let's say BYU loses tonight, then it's, probably a more doom and gloom. But let's say BYU wins by 20-30 tonight. I think we're like, we saw some stuff we really liked tonight. And then if it's a close game, I think we feel the exact same.
Well, the thing is, too, it'll be like 1 a.m., so we'll be like, these Cougs.
Yeah, I'll be like 500 milligrams of caffeine and maybe, hopefully, probably, or NyQuil, one or the other. Something's going to be running through my body. So, all right, anything else before we wrap up?
Nope, just appreciate everyone who comments. We love the regulars. You guys are awesome, so keep it up.
Yeah.
And then if you haven't commented, we read your stuff and on the pod, we answer. So please share your thoughts with us. We'll be tweeting mid-game, and we love the interaction, talking with y'all. So
yeah, DM us, comment, whatever. We'll talk about it on the pod and everything. A lot of fun stuff coming, and make sure to follow at ChurchBallPod on everything. Like and subscribe. 5 stars on Apple, Spotify, wherever. We really appreciate you guys listening. It's been a tough season so far, let's be honest, it has been, but appreciate you guys sticking with us, and hopefully BYU can rattle off some wins, and then we can start talking about maybe some March Madness stuff. But it's all, just get a win tonight. That's all that matters.